Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do the full review on the Liong Mah Field Duty in carbon fiber with the bolster lock that has now been modded with this bronze ano on all of the titanium. It is an absolutely fantastic knife. I really wanted to get to the review because I love this knife so much, but I also wanted to milk it because I don't want to have reasons to not carry this knife. But you got to do what you got to do, right? So, yeah. So let's dive into it, all right? Aesthetically, this is an absolutely gorgeous knife. This is one of the sexiest knives you can get, in my opinion. I just love it. I love the overall design. I love this spear point, drop point type blade. I love the hole in the blade. It's just gorgeous. I love this razorback jimping. The little swedge right here. Absolutely love the bolster lock style. Love that pivot. The carbon fiber on here is fantastic. It's like really nice checkered carbon fiber. There is a variant with marbled carbon fiber. I think I'd probably prefer that one. But it honestly does not matter all that much. You will notice some things that have been changed. There is a ceramic ball in the clip, which is reversible, by the way. A huge feature of this knife and Liong Mah in general. But the big difference on this than the stock one is the ano. So my good buddy MB Wild, he did his bronze ano treatment on this. It's like this dark coffee bronze. It's absolutely just gorgeous. There's going to be some B-roll in here so you can see the knife up close. But it's just stunning. And he did it on the liners, all of the hardware, backspacer, all the good stuff. Anything titanium is now bronze. And it just came together so well. It looks so good with the carbon fiber, in my opinion. Just matches this knife perfectly. So, yeah, aesthetically, I love it, right? Ergonomically, fantastic. It's on the larger side, but it's not really a big deal. It doesn't feel that large because of the ergos. So the way Liong designed it is you have this back grip here that basically fits my hand perfectly. So I get a full grip back here. I have some reach with the blade, right? And then generous finger choil, and my hand fits in there perfectly. I just put that little hump right in between the fingers, and I am ready to go for precision work or whatever, right? Ergonomically, just designed to perfection in a simple way. I love that. I didn't go crazy with the design, but he also made it interesting, different, and fantastic. So I love it. Guys, this is going to be a freaking very positive review. I have reviewed the full titanium version, but there's a huge difference. If you watch that review and then watch this one, you will see the difference. This bolster lock makes a world of difference. Not only does the knife look better because it has the carbon fiber on it versus just plain titanium all up and down, was not my favorite look. It makes it to where a lefty can use the knife, and I will get into that. Cutting, it is an absolute beast. It is M390 steel. Again, this is a Riot-made knife. It is ground to perfection by them. Very sharp edge. I just noticed before the video, I think I have a slight chip or nick right about here on, it looks like it's only on one side of the blade, which is interesting. So I don't know what I can do about that. I might try to just pull out a ceramic, like stone from my sharp maker and give it a shot. And if that doesn't work, I'll send it off to somebody who knows how to sharpen. And I'll go from there. But that was probably from me or whatever, right? But I can feel it sticky sharp. It just glides through material. Look at it. It's just this awesome flat grind on a tall blade. It just comes down to a very thin edge. It's just all you would want in a knife, man. It really is fantastic. So it's a very good blade, very good cutter. Carry, also fantastic. Look at that. Deep carry. clip mounts at the end, and there's nothing coming out of your pocket. It is reversible, which is an absolute dream. Now, I will admit, when I flipped it over, the clip was kind of like all the way over to one side, and that's because the scales on each side, they're not exactly like symmetrical or whatever, so the clip had to be bent a little bit to be straight on the right side. And most people are right-handed, right? So when I flipped it to left, I just had to bend. I just basically pushed it, and it straightened it out. Now it's dead straight on this scale. It looks great. I would not consider that an issue. That's just a matter of having to do something real quick, right? And if I was to switch it back over, you just have to do the same thing and you'd be back in business. It's titanium. It's not going to be an issue. So the carry is fantastic. This clip works great. Never had an issue. It goes in and out of pocket very well. It sits in pocket well. Retention's very good. It's fantastic. Sounds. It's awesome. It sounds really good. It's a well-built Riot, right? I mean, they just make good sounds. This one does occasionally. Let's see if I can get one. I don't know if I can get it. It'll occasionally do the ting. But I can't get it to work right now, but it'll occasionally do the like J-Cape ting sound. And it sounds fantastic. But usually with these knives, once you take them apart, put them back together, something changes and you don't get that sound anymore. This one still does it very infrequently. When I first got it, it would do it every other time. So it's just a matter of maybe putting KPL in there or whatever it is that we do that changes the acoustics in there. I don't know. But sounds are fantastic. I would definitely give this like an 8 out of 10 on sounds. I love it. I could play with it all day. Action, guys. Whew. It's the best action on a knife I've handled. The detent is just utterly perfect. I couldn't ask for a better detent. You go to flick it, you put pressure on, and at the break point, it flies open. That is what you want in a detent with a hole. That is what I always look for. I look to be able to put pressure in and then have it just shoot out when it's done, or when I reach that breaking point. And that's an issue with a lot of knives that you don't get. Here's an example. The Viper Knives Odino. If I do that at all, my finger just comes out with the blade. Right? Because it has no detent. Just fires out. It's so good. And then the closing, boop. Just absolute guillotine. There is no blade play in any which way on this blade. It drops if you do it right-handed. Drops down to your nail and then glides shut. You can use the right-handed thumb flick, the right-handed middle finger flick. You can use the left-handed reverse flick, and you can use the left-handed thumb flick. And that is because of the bolster lock I mentioned. The full titanium version, this is why whenever anybody asks me about this knife, I ask if they're left-handed or right-handed, and then I explain why you want carbon fiber over titanium. Even if you're right-handed, it's better, because when you're flicking, you're not putting your finger anywhere near the lock bar. Or when you're thumb deploying, you're not putting your fingers on the lock bar like you would on the titanium one. It just makes it better for everybody. But specifically for lefties, you'll see my thumb is nowhere near the lock bar. So I have no issues. With the titanium one, I had to kind of climb down to the clip or make sure I was low enough on the lock bar that I wasn't putting pressure on it. There's almost no reason why I would ever be all the way up here. Like, you can lock it up, but you have to be all the way up here. I can go right here, right below it, no problem. So I never have a problem flicking this knife, and I can flick it all night. It's fantastic. Love it. The action is superb. Best action on a knife, I think, ever. And guys, you know I love the Holt haptic, and I say it's the best flipper ever made. Look at that action. But you can't flick it. That makes the world of difference. This is satisfying. It's fantastic for what this knife is, and it is one of my favorite knives. It just does not have that satisfaction of the reverse flick. Just feels good. I don't know. Value. So this is a $450 knife. I've seen them go for $400 on some websites. It's worth every goddamn penny. It is worth $450. This knife competes, to me, this knife competes with the Arius in all categories. I don't know what category this knife would not compete with the Arius in. The fact that it's made in China, maybe. And that's why this is $450 instead of, $800 or whatever. This layout on a Koenig Arius would probably be $800 or whatever, right? So, I get it. If you just don't like China, whatever. But I don't see any issue with the price on this. The quality that goes into a Liong Mah knife, it's just like a Sharp by Design knife. There's just those extra details that you don't see on other knives. Like, say, another knife I absolutely love, the Chavez 229, Riot made. These are like $320. Well, they're made by the same person. They have the same materials, titanium and M390. What the hell, Kev, right? Yeah, but look at the edges. Look at the finishing work. It's completely different. Everything is rounded. Everything is smooth. The ball has this, or the clip has the ceramic ball. It has the inlay on it. There's just a difference. And this is a fantastic knife. This is also one of my favorite knives. But it's just a different feeling, I'll even say down to the detent ball ramp. I believe this one has one, but I've never noticed it. Like, I've never been caught up on it. And on that Chavez, it happens all the time. So, just the details. This is fantastic. Now, is there anything negative about this knife, right? You're probably wondering, is there anything Kev could say bad about this knife? Now, I will say two things, all right? One of them is a thing that I think, and one of them is a thing that other people have said that bothers them, so I will point it out. It does seem to have a little bit of lock stick. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is just a little bit of lock stick. So you can hear it kind of click off. It's not like hard to push over or anything, but it's there and it is a thing, and I gotta point it out, right? There's no lock rock, there's none of that. It's just a little click. That's it. The other thing is this jimping back here. So back here at the bottom of the knife, there's this jimping that kind of rounds around. And people complain about it because in pocket you have to reach past it and you might, scrape your hand past it. Now, for me, personally, I can do this all day. I don't even, it doesn't hurt. I mean, yeah, I know it's there as opposed to this, but, it doesn't hurt me or anything. It doesn't scratch me or anything. So, to me, it's a non-issue. But I have heard people mention it, so I wanted to mention it as well. So that's it, guys. Quick full review here of the carbon fiber bolster lock version of this knife. I will say it right now. This is my favorite knife right now. This is my favorite knife in the collection. I absolutely love it. It has taken over from the Evo 2.0. We'll see if that changes because that is out on loan, and maybe if I compare them. But the flick is just to die for on this knife. And on the Evo, I have to worry about the lock bar. I have to get down on the clip, and there is a little bit of maneuvering that goes into it, and that makes a difference. Being able to just whip this out, flick it, go to work, and close it, no issue, it's it just makes it that much better to me. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a battle to the death of those videos, or a blade battle, or whatever I call it. I did the Evo versus Slim Midi. Maybe this would be a more comparable video with the Evo. So we'll see. But that's it, guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.